Well, shalom, shalom. I'm Barbara, and I'm always short and sweet. Santa is an anagram for Satan. If you ever notice, it's the same letters, and when you jumble them around, they make the word Satan. Santa is a lot like Satan. He wears a red hat, supposedly the color of Satan. And they both have supernatural powers, which means flying and being all over the world at the same time. Santa Claus is a major deity of Western consumer religion. Saint Nicholas, Santa Claus, the father of Christmas, came all the way back through history. The word Satan derives from the Hebrew word the obstructor, and that is all it really means. And most of us remember the story of Yeshua telling Peter to get behind me, Satan. He wasn't actually looking like Satan, but he was obstructing Yeshua's message. If Satan is an obstructor, what better obstructor to the message of Messiah than Santa and the whole Christmas scam? Satan is the obstructor in the faith of little children of Jehovah that sees and knows our every thought. Once the Santa myth burst, then so too does the hope of finding any real meaning in Jehovah and his son Yeshua, and that's Jesus. Parents lead their children every year up to sit on the laps of strangers dressed up like Santa. And why do parents coerce a child to go sit on Santa's lap? Pardon that slip. To receive candy. Most children's initial exposure to Santa is traumatic, with crying and screaming and tears. And there's also a dynamic of something like a sacrifice. And something instinctive in the child wants to resist this relationship with the big red Santa. To protect the child's instincts makes him pull away. But mom and dad just keep pushing him forward, saying, you know, this is what they did, and they lived through it. This guy won't hurt you any. Well, there was also child sacrifice in the old times. The Canaanites and also Israel went into child sacrifice. The nations offered up their children to Molech, and that was a Canaanite god, and they offered up their babies to him. And parents would think they would get prosperity and increase in goods if they offered up their child. But the Bible gives the words of Jehovah. You cause your children to pass through the fire, therefore judgment is coming. And judgment will be coming on America too, because of the principality of destruction through Molech. Leviticus 18:21 says, do not give any of your children to be sacrificed to Molech, for you must not profane the name of your Elohim. I am Jehovah. Each Christmas, we currently sacrifice our children's well-being to the gods of prosperity. Molech was the pagan god of prosperity, and he was a cast iron, pot-bellied god. And at the time of the winter solstice on the ancient calendar, they had a public child mass. And mass literally means sacrifice in this context. And the priest stoked the iron message of the enthroned Molech with wood and burning pitch, would turn the idol into a cherry red furnace. People made long lists of their desires and recited them to the god of prosperity just before they put their infant child into the red-hot lap of their god. And as the babies were incinerated during the December 25th child mass, the people were assured that their sacrifices would be rewarded in the coming year. Well, once Johnny sits on Santa's lap, A, mom and dad become liars and deceivers. B, mom and dad are no longer the source of good things, but rather old Saint Nick is the provider once a year of the toys and joys that Johnny wants. C, Johnny now experiences paranoia for the first time because unlike God or Jehovah, whom you can't see, if you mess things up in relation to Santa, you're going to get it come December 25th. And remember the song, he sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, he knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. And that is like the all-watching eye, watching all the time. Mom and dad become liars and deceivers with this. The Santa Claus lie is wrong. One should not lie to their children and build their faith in something supernatural that is really a false god, an abomination to Jehovah. And they have their faith destroyed when they find out this being is just a big hoax. This destroying of children's faith in the supernatural Jehovah produces a nation devoid of real faith. Remember, the Bible says Satan deceives the whole world. This child is saying, where are you in the Bible? And here he is, Satan deceiving the whole world. So this is talking to the Jewish people, but talking about Satan being a liar, John 8:44, you are of your father the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it. And yes, all the world does wander after the beast and wander after Santa or Satan. Here's a picture of all the Santas around the world. I hope you'll watch my YouTubes I just did, Christmas Tree and its Pagan Roots. Also, I've done about Christmas being pagan. Leviticus 18:21, remember, says, do not give any of your children to be sacrificed to Molech. So if this was a blessing to you, and please share it with your friends that love Yeshua. Please share. Let people know what Santa is about and Christmas is about, all about the pagan roots. So Revelation 13:3 says, and all the world wandered after the beast. Remember, I'm short and sweet, and I'll see you back next time, Yah willing. And please subscribe, and thank you for tuning in today.